company is sarees.com, and they've kindly contacted me via email for me to do a review, which I agreed only on the terms that I will be producing a review that is very much my own honest opinion. They will have absolutely no say in you know, my feedback of the saree. So I'm very, very pleased that they agreed and they provided me with a saree of my choice. So the ordering process was a little bit different for me because it was something that they were providing for review. So she said to me, just simply go on the website and just choose something. So she provided me with a link that I couldn't open from my phone, so I went online and had a look and I chose something, and when I replied back it wasn't in stock. And what I hadn't realised is that on their website they have a huge variety of sarees, and they're all very well categorised. So I was going in printed sarees, but what I didn't realise was that there are sarees that they get made to order for your requirements. But because this was a free one, they weren't prepared to do that for me. They had basically wanted me to select from sarees that were available for immediate delivery. And I think that's a really good point, because if you need a saree right now, you need to know whether there's one that you're going to have a little wait on, or there's one that you can have delivered immediately. So if you needed one for, you know, within a short space of time, then the 7-day delivery period, or the immediate delivery period, I can't remember the term exactly, but that is very clearly categorized, and that's what they have in stock, quality checked, and that's what they can ship out immediately. So that was great. So I selected the saree that is in this box. I'm really impressed with the box. It's a branded box, which is really nice, because when you receive something in the post, you want it to look good. You know, I'm a sucker for packaging, and this isn't over packaged. It's just a simple printed box, and it's great if you're giving this as a gift to someone. So the saree was shipped to me 7 days ago. I was given an email with the tracking details, and it arrived 3 days ago. So that is really good if you want something in a hurry. It was delivered by a very reputable company, so DHL, someone that you can trust. It's not one that, you know, you don't know when it's going to come. As the tracking details were provided, I kind of knew every step of the way where my parcel was, which is great when you're waiting for something. I'm really excited. And here it is. Saree is very well folded. Oh my gosh! They provided me with a petticoat. I wasn't sure and I didn't ask. It was one of the things that I wanted to see. In their website and in the little detail that was provided to me, I asked for some information on the company. It's an Indian company, so the company is actually in India, and they will provide you with a stitched blouse, but that is an additional service. Now, for the purpose of this review, they have provided me with a stitched blouse. It was really easy for me to take my measurements. I give measurements for blouses all the time, so I kind of knew you just needed to measure across here, you needed to measure across the arm, you need to measure how deep you want it from the shoulder to your décolleté, and the same on the back, so from the shoulder down to how far back you want it. And I just do it about 1 inch above my bra line. And then you need to measure across the bust and then just under the bust, and they will be able to provide you with measurements. This is the blouse. It looks a little big for me. So in the photo it shows a long sleeve blouse, so I guess she's just provided it in the way that is demonstrated in the photograph, so that's pretty cool. So I'm just tugging at the stitching here, and you can see that it's very, very well stitched. If I turn inside, you guys know how important this is to have at least 1 inch of seam there, so you can open it up if you need to. So you would open up this seam here and maybe this one here, just put another one here if you felt that this was too tight for you. But if you provided your own measurements, then it shouldn't be. And it's great that you've got a little bit bigger, because you can always make it seem smaller by running an extra seam along here rather than it being too small and opening it up. It's very, very well finished. Sometimes when you buy Indian clothing, you can see that this edge here is frayed. They haven't sealed it, but this edge here has been tucked in really nicely and then sewed on top, so that you get no fraying edges at all. There is no frayed edges anywhere that I could see on this. You've got a little button here for your bra strap, so your bra goes into here and then it hooks over into the little hook on the other side. You've got decent strong hooks on the inside, and on the opposite side you've got the little eye holes for it. So this bit here is where your where the front of the blouse is, and obviously you don't want this flat, so sometimes when you buy a blouse this part here isn't done right, and for me, who is someone who knows very well about blouses, these here should always have little seams that form part of the breast area, otherwise you'll have a poking out bit that just doesn't look right. So that this is called the gador, which is the cup of the blouse, and they have put the seams in to follow the shape of the breast, so that you're not having, so that your blouse is more tailored and it's not sticking out too much. The blouse is lined, which is also very good. The lining is also a very good quality lining, and then the front and the back of the blouse has been piped with this sort of contrasting colour. In this case it's brown because the saree's brown. They've also given me a satin petticoat in white. So this is a georgette fabric, it's nice and soft, you can just see my hands underneath that. This fabric is great when you want sheer fabrics but don't want to show off so much. It's lightweight but not too light, so it's not as light as chiffon. It's got a little bit of weight to it, added more by these beautiful patchwork pieces that have been applied. So this is the part that would be draped over your shoulder, the part that would be on display, and the patchwork piece is very good quality. It's got no frayed pieces, no bits missing to it, it's been applied very well, and it's coloured and it's vivid and its clarity is very nice. I love gold and black, so I always love little pieces like this. And then you've got the border here, which is equally very pretty, shiny, and not too over bling for a printed saree, which is great. The back of the bulla is, I think it's lined. It feels like it's lined, this part. Let me just double check. It is, it's a double line, so you know, it's finished nicely on the back. Sometimes you see the back of it when it's draped over the shoulder and hanging towards your back, so it's really nice that it's finished well, and even the patch is on securely, so you're not going to get bits of it pulling off. What I've got here is the bottom of the saree and the bit that falls from your waist down, and this part here is the bit that will be at your feet, so you can see that it's got a fall already placed inside. The fall is well set. It's not crinkly. I'm very critical of the way falls are because my mother is a stickler for the way falls are put, and if you can see that there, it's laid on quite flat and follows the contours of the fabric, so it's not pinching any of the fabric above it, and you'd see that because you'd get little ripples up here which you're not seeing. So that's been put on very well, and none of it is poking out from the top here. Fall is very important for a lightweight saree. It helps weigh it down, and it helps the pleats to form nicely, and also over some time the saree will warp upwards as well, so the fall just keeps it down. When you buy sarees, most of the time this edge here is never finished, and you've got to literally fold it inwards and sew it yourself. So it's nice that they've hem stitched this so that it's already done. This saree is ready to wear, it's ready to go. There's nothing that you need to do with it. So what I'm going to do now is just check it for any imperfections, and I'll point out anything that comes out. Quickly looking at the edge that won't be seen, this will be tucked in first and then you'll get another layer over it. I can see that there are threads sticking out. Initially I thought, oh well, that's not good, what's the rest of the saree going to be like? But looking closely, these are from when the saree is provided to them, it's folded, and also at this side, this blouse that I showed you earlier, that would have been just a piece of material, and that's often sewed into the side to keep the pieces together for sale. Obviously when these sarees go into shops, they're with thousands and thousands of other sarees, and to keep the pieces together so that you don't lose the blouse piece, and to keep it all, you know, all well secured, they literally sew it on very roughly onto this side here, so that, you know, when you have it you've got a full piece, and it's very lightly tacked, and when you can see they've pulled it off, they've just forgotten to take the tack off. So this is extra, it's not part of the saree, these aren't the saree threads, they're just put in order to secure the blouse, which when they've made the blouse for me, they've actually just pulled this off and secured this in. So if you buy this unstitched, you will find that your SAREE blouse is attached here, and this edge will not be done unless you specifically ask for that. Now I'm looking at the bit where you've got the base of the SAREE, there's the bit that goes once around your body, and then the beautiful pattern transitions into the SAREE. Now sometimes with some saris, this area, the work of joining these two pieces of material can be a little bit shoddy. It doesn't look it so much from the front, and what they've done here is they've got the two edges together, sewn them in with a machine. And sometimes you get this piece that is lower and this piece that's higher, or they've just joined it with one little seam at the back, and you can see some frayed edges. On this piece, they've joined it very well. They've folded this piece under, and then they've added this piece to it, and they've done a seam. But on the other side as well, they folded this bit under, so you get no frayed edges. Now you can see a little bit here, but an attempt has been made to make sure that this is done very well. I've seen much worse, where you get two frayed edges and they're just sewn straight down like that through the middle and left. But this has been actually pulled in so that you don't get any frayed edges. There are a little bit, and that's just poking out underneath from where that trim has been done. Very minor, and it's certainly not going to spoil the show of the SAREE at all. They've left a little bit of the thread on from when the machine went on it, but that can be easily cut off. Fawn is very light. It's a dream. I can feel it on my skin, and it just feels lovely. So the biggest test for me when I buy a SAREE is this, how well it folds. And I'm going to do that now. I haven't done it, so I don't know. It's easy to form the pleats, and if I pull these two now like this, I've done a fair few folds in there, but you can see that it falls really nicely. The border down here where my feet are kicking out can sort of prevent a SAREE from folding very well completely flat. So what I would do here is just press the bottom together so that they fall nicely, maybe even pin it. Looking over towards my left here, because I've just opened their website to have a look at some prices. The blouse stitching service is $9 extra. The standard petticoat is $5 extra. A customized petticoat is $8 extra, and I guess that's if you want it a certain size or a certain length or a certain fabric. And pre-stitching is $9 extra. Now pre-stitching is where you don't do any of the folds. The folds are already stitched in for you according to your body shape. So that's very good for people who find it very difficult to put on a SAREE. Am I happy with the SAREE? If I was a customer who had bought off on the website, I would be very happy. This SAREE retails at about less than $30, so that's very good value. I have given sarees.com a very favourable review. I'm very happy with the service. Will I order again from them? Their prices are very reasonable, and so I will be ordering. As I was looking, I did see some sarees that I liked. The ones that I chose that wasn't in stock, and I think I'm very tempted to go in and order it. So if I do, I'll let you know. I'll put a link in below for a new review, I guess. I hope this review has been very useful for you, and take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.